Our wheat is ready to harvest. Oh, this looks to be our furniture. Old Ben has got a grain truck for sale, a Chevrolet C60 V8. We'll take it, Ben, and purchase ourselves a suitable trailer. We've made a lot of money from that furniture. And 6 pallets for the farmhouse build. Ben has a field with barley in, and he wants that harvested. We do need to get a upgraded harvester at some point. Hello, Katie. Are you in? I think the door is a bit open. Katie? Are you in here? Well, there's no sign of Katie. But it looks like someone's left in a hurry. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the American Dream at Riverbend Springs. We're starting where we finished last time, and we'd come in to check on Katie's house, and found that it looks like someone has left in a hurry. We haven't received any text messages back from Katie, so we have been a little bit worried. I think I'm going to try and call her to see if she will answer. Seems like she's got her phone turned off or something. Well, I'm not sure where Katie is, but if she goes any longer not being contactable or findable, then I might have to call in at the sheriff's and file a missing persons report. Well, we promised Walter we'd let him know when we went to check in on Katie. Hi, Walter. Went to Katie's house. She's not there, and it looks like she's left in a hurry. Do you think she's okay? Right, we'll see what Walter comes back with, but I'm starting to get rather worried. Right, we better head off, as we've got a few other things to do today, and we don't know that Katie has gone missing for sure, but yeah, things don't quite sit right after seeing her bike at Walter's fishing ground, where there was some odd activity going on. And yeah, it's not the first time that Katie's been a little bit elusive and we haven't heard from her, but things have been going well between us lately, so yeah, I am a little bit worried. I think we'll leave it the rest of today, and if we don't hear anything, yeah, we might have to go and check in with the sheriff. Right, back to the main road, and I think the first protocol this afternoon is going to be to David's, as we were midway through a harvest for old Ben. We were using the Alice Chalmers and the Alice all-crop harvester, and it was taking its time, certainly, and yeah, I think we need to look at some other combine harvester options. We obviously saw Walter and old Ben recently. Doesn't look like they've got any harvesters on the market. But I do wonder if David has got anything or any potential leads to get a harvester. We're taken. Usual crazy motorists around here. And David's farm is just up the way. Here we go, David's farm, Sunset Farm. We'll just head on through the farmyard and around to the other side where David's house is. Can't see that he's got any harvesters kicking around, so I'm hoping that he might have a lead or two on a harvester. Right, here we go, David's house, and there he is. Hey David. How you doing? Yeah, we're not too bad, thanks for asking. Although we are a little bit worried about Katie, Walter's daughter. She's been a little bit unresponsive lately, and yeah, she doesn't seem to be at work or at home, so a little bit concerning. Yeah, I'm hoping she's fine as well. I'm sure she'll turn up. Anyway, reason for the visit is I'm after a combine, as the Alice All crop has kind of been a bit outgrown and we need something bigger. Ah, that's fair enough. Wasn't really expecting you to have spare combines hanging around that we could buy. But any idea where we might be able to find one? Oh gosh, Farmer Stan. As in Farmer Stan down by Willie's restaurant. Oh, well, that's terrible news. I had no idea that he was struggling and that his farm was about to be repossessed. He's selling some of his old equipment to try and make ends meet. Oh, well, sounds like we better pay Farmer Stan a visit, as if he's got a combine, then maybe it would be an opportunity to help him out as well. I do hope Farmer Stan can save the farm. It would be a real shame if it was to go under and Farmer Stan would be farmless. Well, I'll go over and see him and see if there's anything we can do to help him out. I wonder if there's anything more we can do, like a fundraiser or something like that. I'll give it a good thought and maybe speak to a few other people. Thanks for letting us know, David. That's much appreciated. We'll let you know how we get on once we see Farmer Stan. But you've got a harvesting contract, you say? Well, I'll tell you what. If we manage to get hold of a combine, then we'll do it. Well, it seems that David has got a harvesting contract as well. And although we've got one to finish off for old Ben, this looks to pay rather well. Field number 8, barley as well. And if we manage to get hold of a combine, I think we'll be able to do it. So I'm going to tentatively accept, and if we don't manage to get hold of a combine, then we'll just let David know. Well, thanks for your time as always, David. We'll let you know how we get on. See you later. Take care. Well, I've got to say, I'm a little bit taken aback by what David had to say about poor Farmer Stan. I had no idea that he was struggling and his farm was on the brink of being repossessed. I'm guessing he's got some debt that he needs to pay off, maybe from buying the farm or from buying bigger and newer equipment and just not being able to make the money back and repay the loan. But now I think about it, we did buy Farmer Stan's old sprayer and his caravan from him. So maybe that was in some sort of desperation to raise funds to repay the bank, but he didn't say anything, so I had absolutely no idea that that was the case, and I wish he had have said something, as we could have helped him out or offered him some money. And it's really got me thinking now that we should look to try and do something to help Farmer Stan out. Maybe in the community we could look to organise a fundraiser, maybe a cake sale, or maybe even a tractor run or something to get everyone to contribute and help Farmer Stan out in any way that we can. Right, I've come down to the field because this is where we left old Ben's field, half harvested, with the Alice Charmers, or I should say the Alice Sisters. It has got the Alice All crop as well as the Alice Charmers tractor. And this is really just too small for us now. So I'm thinking I'll head over to Farmer Stan's, see if he has got a combine. And if he does, excellent. If he doesn't, then I guess we're a little bit stuck. But yeah, it's worth us checking in on Farmer Stan and seeing if he has got anything appropriate for us. And in that way, we could help him out as well. Right, Farmer Stan is down the track towards Willie's and over the bridge. Here we go. Oh, looks like he is home. I think he's got his farm truck here, which I've not seen before. And I've noticed that I've still got the jackhammer in the back of the pickup. I will take it out one of these days. Hello, Stan, are you in? Hey Stan, I hope you're doing okay. Yep, we're doing alright thanks, although I heard some sad news from David that you're struggling with the farm a little bit. and the bank is looking to repossess or foreclose. Oh, that's such a terrible shame, and I'm really sorry to hear, Stan. We had no idea, and had we known, we'd have done everything we could to try and help. David said that you might have some old equipment that you're looking to sell. I don't suppose you've got a combine, do you? Sure, yeah, we can follow you up to your main yard, that's no problem. Right, well, it sounds like we are in luck. Farmer Stan has a combine at his main yard that he's looking to sell, so we're going to go have a look at it. He's just grabbing his keys, and then we're going to follow him up to his yard. Off he goes. Right, let's follow on and go to Farmer Stan's yard. Poor Farmer Stan. It is tough for farmers, especially when they're just focused on one thing like crops and haven't diversified enough to keep the money rolling in. We're lucky we obviously started our sawmill operation, as that has given us some good money. Oh, looks like Farmer Stan's yard is just on the other side of his fields, up this way. Oh, it is quite a big yard. Well, I can see a harvester here. Farmer Stan has parked up, so we'll just park up here. Well, it's nice to see the yard for the first time, Stan. And just seeing the size of it, I can appreciate the burden that you've got on your hands trying to keep it running. Right, okay. Everything here is for sale. The John Deere 440 harvester, the Volvo Crabat, and even your farm truck. Well, we could never take a farm truck away from a good farmer, but coincidentally, old Ben had an old farm truck he wasn't using, and we bought that a couple days back. So how much do you want for the harvester then? Only 8,000. That sounds a little bit too low, Stan. I tell you what, we'll take a look at it, and if it's up to scratch, we'll make you a good offer. Alright, well, this is the harvester. It is the John Deere 440. I'm not sure on the horsepower. It's a little bit dirty, but I think the paint is looking pretty good, and everything is looking up to scratch. I think it's reasonably well serviced, so that is good news. And yeah, it has a chopper at the back, so the crop stalks get all chopped up and laid down as straw behind, which is handy. And yeah, the header on it I think is around 5 meters. The 215 model, I think this is, and it says on the side. So let's hop in and fire up and see if we're all good. Well, she looks alright. The service indicator is showing she probably needs a good bit of oil and a little bit of TLC, but that's not too bad. Let's fire it up. She fires up nicely, and I think we can raise and lower the header nicely. Yeah, there we go. Hydraulics seem to be working as expected. Do we need to unfold? I don't think we need to unfold anything, but let's test the auger pipe. Yeah, that seems to extend out and come back nicely. So let's just fire it up. Yep, the thrasher and the rollers look like they're working pretty well. So I have no doubts that this is going to serve us superbly. Right, let's shut her down and we can buy this from Stan. Well, we had a good look at the harvester, Stan, and gotta say, it's a fine bit of kit, and I think it'll serve us really well as our first self-propelled combine. So, rather than 8,000, I think I'm going to offer you 15, as we really don't want to skimp out on paying for it, and want to do everything we can to help you out, as, yeah, I know, sometimes it's hard times, and you never know, in the future, we might fall on hard times, so here you go. No worries, Stan. You take care of yourself and hopefully see you again soon. Well, Farmer Stan is heading off. There we go. £15,000 spent. and I think it's a worthy spend, to be honest, as not only are we giving ourselves a combine, we are helping out a fellow farmer, and yeah, it's really sad to hear about Stan's situation. I'm going to see what we can do to try and help in the future with the community as well. Right, I think I'll have to leave the farm truck here and just drive the harvester home, and we can come back and pick up the pickup. We could probably use the farm truck and the trailer to do so. Fire it up. Make sure the header is lifted for transportation. Now, I don't think this John Deere has a beacon, and that's probably its only one downside. But we can put the hazards on, so people will see us coming. There we go, hazards on. I think we can head down here and hopefully out of Farmer Stan's yard. Now, one thing I did come to learn is that obviously there's a really nice farmhouse here, and I think this is the main farmhouse of this farm and yard. But Farmer Stan was telling me that because he's fallen on such hard times, he had to rent out the main farmhouse and go and live in one of what were the farmhands' quarters, which is the house that we always see him at. And yeah, that money is helping him pay off all of his debts and loans. So yeah, it is really sad that he's had to move out of the main farmhouse and rent it out to some wealthy folk who want to come and live on the farm and maybe have a second home. So really is a dire situation for poor old Stan. We'll have to see what we can do to help him out. Alright, rejoined the main road. And one thing to note about this harvester is it obviously does not come with a header trailer, and I do not see a tow hitch on the back, so I'm guessing road transport is how we're going to have to do this. It's obviously a little bit slow, so I wonder if we could load it up onto our new trailer and pull it around with the farm truck. That's something we'll have to see. Of course, it'll have to have the header attached as well, because yeah, we don't have any means to pull an additional trailer. Well, she's running superbly, so we can head on to the field, old Ben's field, and get that barley harvest finished up. Oh, sorry motorist, had to duck and weave you there. I'm just going to nip through David's farm and we can tell him the good news that we found a combine so we can harvest the field he needed doing. No, we're at David's and he is still here. Hi David. Oh, I can't hear you over the engine. Let me just shut it down. Yep, we bought Farmer Stan's old John Deere harvester. We paid him a good price for it. We're good to harvest that field for you. Yeah, we'll do that after we've finished old Ben's. Right, see you later. Right, on we go. I think David is happy that we're able to do the contract for him, and also helped out Farmer Stan as well, of course. So I think David is pleased that we were able to come to an agreement with Stan. Now, I must not forget that we have our own field that needs harvesting, the wheat, in our first and smallest field. This combine is going to be perfect for our future harvest. We've got the sorghum to come. And then for the cotton harvest, we'll have to see about borrowing something from Walter, as he's done quite a lot of cotton farming over the years. Right, made it to the field so we can turn off the hazards. That's good. And I think what we'll do is we'll just nip Alice back to the farmyard. There she is, the poor old girl. I think this Alice All Crop has done a fantastic job of harvesting, considering its size, but we have to upgrade, so I'm very pleased that we've been able to find something suitable. Right, the All Crop is dropped back in the shed, and I'm thinking maybe we could give that a little bit of a clean up, spruce up, and we might be able to sell that. And yeah, I'm sure there's probably some vintage farm equipment collectors, and they might pay reasonable money, and we could look to donate that to Farmer Stan to help him out. Back to the field, and we can jump in the John Deere, and yeah, we can get to harvesting. Let's fire it up. I think we probably best line up and resume where we started. Here we go, and we are harvesting the barley with much more width and much more speed. So let's get this all done. Last little nugget collected, and that is all the barley in the hopper, soon to be in the farm truck. And I think to finish this for old Ben, we'll need to take it to the grain elevator. I don't think I have been there before, but there we go. Let's unload, see what quantity we have got in total. 6,463 litres of barley. Superb. Right, what I'm thinking is I'll try and see if this harvester will fit on the trailer. The width of the wheels looks good. Obviously the header is wider and we can't detach the header and pull it separately, but we could at least drive a little bit faster across town and wait for the bus to pass, as I don't want to mangle with that. But yes, on the way to drop off the grain, the barley, for old Ben's harvest, we could then take the harvester with us, and we'll then be able to move on to David's contract on field number 8, which I think is over that away. Watch out for the signs. Did demolish some signs previously. But here we go. Let's hitch up to the trailer, and we should be able to lower the ramp and hopefully get the harvester loaded up successfully. Ramps down. We'll reverse the harvester on. I think that's going to offer the best weight distribution and keep the main bulk of the harvester on the wheels. There we go. That looks to fit pretty well. Ramps up, and we can head over to drop this grain off and then move on to David's contract. Well, this certainly was the setup I envisaged when I wanted to buy the farm truck and a trailer. So we've got much more mobility for larger pieces of equipment. Right, David's field is the right turn after the railway track but before the bridge. And that supposedly is field number 8. Here we go, let's turn around, here we go. This is the field, so let's find somewhere we could pull up and drop off this trailer. I think here is the best space available, so I'm just reversing back. We can open up and lower down the ramps, unlash and unhitch. We'll go run the grain over to where old Ben needs it dropped off, and then we'll double back to come and do David's harvest. Just came to unload the hopper, and we have a full farm truck of barley. Wowzers. So I think we're going to have to pause the harvest there and go over to the grain elevator to empty the farm truck. Just taking a look at the map, and it seems like it's the same grain elevator where we dropped old Ben's barley off. So yeah, it seems like they are in need of barley at the moment. And yeah, we are 39% of the way through harvesting that field. Maybe a little bit more, as some of the job is accounted for actually dropping off the crop. But yeah, we've got quite a long way to go. We obviously started today partially through a field, old Ben's field. And looks like we're going to finish up today halfway through or partially through someone else's field. Left turn just over this bridge and we go down to the river grain elevator. Here we go, we can drop off the first batch of David's barley field. Here we go. Right, there we go. We have 32% transported, so we're up to 45% total on that contract job now. Let's head back to the field. Right, we made it back. We can actually park in the field now that we have done 3 headlands and churned into some rows, which is pretty good going. Oh, I think I've just got a text message. Oh, it's Walter. Hi, thanks for letting me know. I've not seen or heard from Katie. This is a little bit worrying. Well, it is a little bit worrying. I think after we've got all these harvests sorted, we will have to get in touch with the sheriff. But it is proving to be a very busy July. We're able to finish off old Ben's harvest thanks to buying one of Farmer Stan's old combines. And it was sad to hear that Farmer Stan has fallen on tough times. So I think in the future we're going to have to see what we can do to help him out. And of course, we've got our own wheat harvest to get done. So lots of things still to do. But that is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. But all that's left to say is I hope to see you again next time on the American Dream at Riverbend Springs. And until then, catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.